So I have been pregnant the last 3 years. And not by choice, not by choice. I have 3 wonderful children, but I have been on contraception since I was 15. Yeah. So the first time I got pregnant was in 2018 with my daughter. And that was a shock. I had to figure out how to be a parent. Then in 2022, I had only been dating my partner for 8 months when I found out I was pregnant again. Cried my eyes out. Every time I get pregnant, I cry because it's always a shock, because it's never something that I've planned. And I do feel a bit sad that I'll never have that really cool experience of like planning to have a child and then seeing the pregnancy test and lighting up and jumping for joy with my partner. No, that's not been my experience. My experience is missing my period and freaking out, crying my eyes out, going through the how did this happen? I was on contraception. And then having to come to terms with it and doing the best that we can. I think we've done pretty well. You know, I learned how to be a parent once I had my daughter. And then I got pregnant again 2022. Only been dating my partner for 8 months. Cried a lot. Then came to an acceptance about it and then had a miscarriage. Life. Got more contraception. Ended up pregnant again a few months later. Had my son in 2023. Had the most traumatic birth ever. Was like, thank goodness that's done. Let's move on. My partner got the snip. 4 months later, my baby was only 6 months old and I started feeling nauseous. And I was like, no, you cannot be doing this to me again. Seriously. Had my daughter in 2024. Love all of them. But I want 2025 to be about finding who I am again. I feel like I've really lost myself to motherhood a bit. And I just want to re-find who I am. How, what makes me happy. And I think I've kind of nailed it down to a few different categories. So, number 1, self-care, right? Number 2, nutrition and movement, which, by the way, I have always struggled with. I had an eating disorder for about 10 years. I went to like AA, but for people with eating disorders in London. That was the greatest decision. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Next, like mental stimulation. Because as much as I love motherhood, it doesn't mentally stimulate me. Emotional health, sort of knowing my values or reconnecting to my values. And I'm going to have to obviously do some more healing and childhood trauma stuff, because this stuff with my dad always comes up after I have a baby. And I always think that I've healed it and then it comes back again. Connection. I feel like my relationships really took a hit. My friendships took a hit. And I miss connecting with people that I love. There's something that I really want to prioritize moving into 2025. Because I'm like a natural hermit. I could stay home all day, every day. But I don't think it's that healthy. I think it comes from like this, almost like a fear of being seen. Or this, I'm a burden. I've always held that internal belief that I'm a burden. And it's something that I really need to work on. That's really hard to admit. The next category is showing up as the parent that I want to be, but with multiple children, because it feels a lot harder to stay regulated when you have kids everywhere. But it's also really important to me. Conscious parenting still feels like the right thing to do. I had someone say the other day, like, how do you keep doing that when there's so many people in this world who think you should parent a different way. And ultimately, it honestly comes down to I am not willing to be somebody else. I'm not willing to be somebody who threatens and yells and screams and smacks. That's not who I am authentically, and I refuse to change that about myself for the sake of parenting. Lastly, I want to be a little more authentic. This is really hard for me because I found over the years that there are always going to be people who hate and who misunderstand and who twist what you say. And I've just kind of retreated from social media because of that. And I don't want to do that. I want to be seen and I want to help other people show up authentically too. I want my daughters to be authentic, my kids, and therefore I have to take the lead in that. So I guess this is where we're starting. Anyway, ultimately my goal is to thrive in motherhood. And I would love if you joined me. I'm going to show this journey as much as I can. Bye.